In today's video, we're kicking off our color demo resource series with not one, not two, not three, not four, but you guessed it, all five color morphs from Dead On Plastix. It's the Color Morph Series. Let's get right into it. What's going on, all my fellow bait chuckers out there? My name is Michael. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for clicking on the video. If you're joining us today, then that means you're interested in finding out what all of these Dead On Plastic color morphs look like. And what a great way to kick off this color demo resource series. Now, a lot of you are probably already familiar with this type of series because you came all the way over from Adam's channel at SDG Custom Lurecraft. For those of you who don't know what this is actually a sister series that's done in partnership with Adam over at SDG Custom Lurecraft, as well as Epic Bait Molds. If you don't know who Adam is or you're not familiar with his channel, don't worry, I have a link to his channel down below. I highly recommend you go over there and check it out. I'm also going to leave a link to the playlist that he already has going because he has 6 episodes already in this series, and I'm going to throw that link right up here in the upper right hand corner of the screen. Make sure to check that out. So Adam started this series on his channel as a way to help bait makers. There's a lot of different colors out there from a lot of different companies, and everyone performs a little bit differently in plastisol. Some are more transparent than others, some are more opaque than others, and with all the different colors and pigments to choose from, it's hard to cover them all. Adam already has 6 episodes in his series, and he's hardly scratched the surface. When I reached out to him to see if he wanted to collaborate on a video, he recommended that I do a sister series in conjunction with him and Epic Bait Molds to cover some of the Dead On Plastix colors. I happen to have the entire collection of Dead On Plastix colors, and I figured we would kick it off in episode 1 covering the entire Color Morph series. That's right, all 5 Color Morph colors. These colors in no particular order are Kiwis, Pink Lemonade, Metal Mist, Synthetic, and last but certainly not least, we have Blue Craw. So in keeping with the methodologies that Adam has already established for this series, we're going to be utilizing the 3.5-inch rocket grub provided to us by Jason and Amanda over at Epic Bait Molds. I can't thank the both of you enough for sponsoring this series and allowing me to participate and help Adam and bring this color resource to all of the bait makers. When you team up together, I definitely think this is a way we can get all of these colors covered for the bait making community. So again, special thanks to Jason and Amanda, as well as Adam over at SDG for allowing me to participate in this sister series. Now, Adam picked the rocket grub for a reason, specifically because it goes from thick to thin. You can see right here that in the thick portion of the body, we have a nice round area that's nice and thick. It's going to show off the color really well. And then it thins out into a tiny tail here in the back, as well as we have some kicker flanges on the back that are going to help those legs kick in the back there as well. Adam chose this mold for a reason because it shows off color exceptionally well. So again, we're going to follow suit using the same exact mold and following similar processes that he has already on his channel. The Color Morph colors are very special. There's a lot of terminologies thrown around in the color industry. There's color shift, hyper shift, chameleon, changeable, and now we have color morph. I do think that the Color Morph series does stand out a little bit from some of the others out there because if you read through the Dead On Plastix website, these are designed to actually be a base color in which you can adjust and switch either way. Take, for example, the Blue Craw. So the Blue Craw is a color morph between blue and brown. But after you add the base of the Blue Craw into your plastisol, you can add your favorite blue to make it lean more towards the blue side, or you could add some neo orange to lean a little bit more towards the brown side. They cover all of this on the Dead On Plastix website for each color. So if you have a color morph, or if you're thinking about checking out some of these color morph colors, I definitely recommend heading on over to the Dead On Plastix website. They'll have lots of information there on how to use these. Now, I gotta give credit where credit's due. It looks like the Dead On Plastix team has been revamping their website lately. And if you head on over there, you can see they put very clear instructions at the top of of their page, they have some new medallions that they've made for each color, and they also notate that they make these colors with 25 drops per half cup of plastisol. So if you want to at least get some still images of what all the various different colors look like over at the Dead On Plastix website, they have everything broken out by the different series of colors. Let's head on over to the Color Morph Series. Right at the top, there's a big PSA that they put at the top of the Color Morph page. We make our colorants to be around 40 to 50 drops per cup for any colors that are not prime, secondary, or tertiary. It allows for the user to change the saturation levels themselves and or add any other colors they wish before reaching saturation. Prime, secondary, or tertiary colors are made to be very strong and use much less drops per cup. Treat them like any paint and shake for 1 minute minimum before use for best results. Dead On Plastisol also stressing shaking your pigments. I can't stress that enough. All of the good stuff of all your pigments from any brand is going to be at the bottom of the cup. You want to make sure you shake it really good, and you want to make sure you have a nice wide orifice at the tip so all of your colorant is able to be released from the bottle. A lot of times if you have too small of an orifice, you're going to get a lot of your base carrier out of there, but not necessarily a whole lot of pigment that's in the bottle, leaving you with weak and undesirable colors. All the samples that are shown of the color morphs on the Dead On Plastix website, they're running 25 drops per half cup. That leads you into 50 drops for a full cup of plastisol, which is what we're going to be showing today, 1 full cup of plastisol. However, I'm going to dial it back a little bit for the purposes of this color demo resource. I've found by following a lot of Chris Jones's recipes using the color morphs that 35 drops to 1 cup really tends to be the sweet spot where these colors shine. So that's what we're going to be doing today. 35 drops for 1 cup of plastisol. Now, if you don't know about the recipe I'm referring to, I'm going to put a link right up here in the upper right hand corner. This is going to take you to Chris Jones's blue Craw recipe video. It utilizes the blue Craw pigment here from Dead On Plastix, and he shows you also how to dazzle it up a little bit. So because the color morphs, I also think, need a little bit of dazzling, and what I mean by that is adding 1 drop of black. We're going to show you both what it looks like untouched as well as with 1 drop of black. Each time we go through the colors today, we're going to be shooting them twice. We're going to take you through once with 35 drops, showing you what the color looks like just by itself, nothing added. And then what we're going to do is we're going to hold off one of those rocket grubs. We're going to throw the other ones back in there to get back as close to 1 cup as we can. And we're going to add 1 drop of black, and then we're going to shoot the mold a second time. So this way you all can see what it looks like plain by itself as well as with 1 drop of black. Personally, I feel anytime you get into pearl pigments, color shift pigments, anything like that, just that 1 little drop of black, giving it a little bit of a canvas to work off of with that hyper shift seems to do really, really well. So we're going to give you both options today, and we have a lot of mixing and a lot of injecting to do. So I've been rambling on long enough. Let's get right into it. Let's go! Of plastisol fresh out of the microwave, ready to go. We are using the Dead On Plastix sinking blend of the Craw tube blend. So that's what we're using right now. First up is synthetic. I have given this a ton of shaking. Always make sure you shake up your pigment. Please, it's the most important thing. So here we go, 35 drops. Okay, there we go. 35 drops is a really good starting point for the synthetic. Now the synthetic is kind of like their version of a motor oil, I guess you could say, although it's a little bit different. It's a green to orange color shift. It's really, really cool. So here we go, 35 drops in there right now. It's like a greenish to orangish red. Get that stirred up nice and good, and you can see there, you can see the brownish orangish red, and it's got kind of that green tinge to it as well. So let's get some here in our cup. Let's get this vacuumed out and let's take a look at it. There you go. It's kind of hard to see, because when the light shines through it, it is that kind of orangish red transparent, but there is the slightest green tint to it there. I think it'll show up a lot better once we add that drop of black later on, but we'll see how it goes. Again, this is 35 drops to 1 cup. Okay, you can see, now that we've gotten all the air bubbles out, definitely a lot darker versus when we pull it up. See that there? And it's hard to see on camera, but I can see it here. There's definitely a green tint to it. Maybe hard for the camera to pick up, but there's definitely some green to it here. And then it is that orangish reddish color. This will really show up in the thin layers, for sure. Okay, here we are, fresh out of the microwave, ready to go. 35 drops to 1 cup of the Dead On Plastix Color Morph. And remember, everybody, don't forget to glove up. Here we go. Synthetic blend, Color Morph. 35 drops per cup. That's what it looks like on the injector. We'll make sure to top off our sprues because this mold can drink. You can really kind of see it there in the block. You got that greenish tinge on the end and then that red orange in the middle. This is going to pop a lot more once we add that drop of black. You just wait and see. Okay, here we go. The 3.5 inch rocket grub. Let's open her up. Alright, everything wants to come out on that side there. Alright, there you go. That is the synthetic. You can definitely see where it's orangish reddish pink on the edges. But really tough to see the green color morph. I mean, it's there, but very, very, very hard to see it with only 35 drops. So again, they do recommend 50 drops for a full cup, so we are a few drops shy. Once we add a drop of black, I think you're really going to see a lot of that color change effect a little bit more pronounced. But yeah, there you go. I also want to point out that we are in the studio under studio lighting, and they even notate on the Dead On Plastix website that these are designed to be reflective outdoors, and we all know the sunlight is way more powerful than studio lighting. Okay, so next up what we're going to do is we're going to take all of these rocket grubs here, we're going to throw them back inside the cup to get back as close to 1 cup of plastisol as we can. And what we're going to be doing is, now that we get back close as we can to 1 cup of plastisol, we're going to add a single drop of black and see if we can't make the color morph pop just a little bit more. Alright, here we are, all nice and warmed up. Okay, here we go. Synthetic blend, 35 drops to 1 cup of plastisol, along with 1 drop of black. Oh yeah, and I can definitely see the green a lot better with that black as a backer. I'm telling you, all those color morphs really make a difference when you got that little bit of black in there. Here's what it looks like on the injector. Okay, here we go. The 35 drops of synthetic blend along with 1 drop of black. Let's pop those out. Okay, and I can already see a huge difference. Okay, there you can already see a huge difference what that 1 drop of black does. You can see on the angle there, you get a good eyesight of the green, and then when you see it straight on, it is that reddish pinkish color that you see there in the tail. And I think this is much more representative of what you would find from the synthetic blend. So again, one drop of black really makes a difference when you compare it to the original, just plain Color Morph by itself. There you go. There's a real good shot of that green. Look at that there. And you can see when it gets to the thin part there, it's going to turn into that red. So again, kind of a green in the thick to an orangish red here in the thin parts. So synthetic is a really cool color. I have a formula for it that I call the synthetic blend. It's a recipe that we could show maybe some other time here on the channel when we do a video that's a little more focused on motor oils. But yeah, synthetic blend, there you go. Next in the lineup, one of my favorites, Blue Craw. Alright, here we go. Another fresh cup of the Dead On Craw tube blend ready to go. And the color, Blue Craw. Next up in the Color Morph Series. Again, make sure you shake your bottle really well. And we're going to be doing 35 drops. 35. You can tell we shook that one up real good because it just came exploding out of the jar there. Okay, here we go. Blue Craw. Oh yeah, look at that. This is a really good color. Blue Craw is that brown to blue color change. Again, don't forget to check out that link to the Blue Craw recipe by Chris Jones. Fantastic video, fantastic recipe, and this is definitely one of my favorite in the Color Morph series. You can see it is definitely a nice dark brown, and then when we pull our knife up out of it, we are getting a nice kind of aquamarine turquoise blue. So again, you can add different blues to it to darken it up if you want, but I'm telling you, just on its own, this one's actually not too bad right out of the bottle. Alright, let's get this vacuumed up and ready for injection. Okay, a lot easier to see the light blue to brown color change on this. Straight on, you can see it's definitely see-through turquoise blue. And again, similar to the last round with the synthetic, once we put that drop of black in there, it's going to make this pop even more. But here it is right here with just raw 35 drops to 1 cup. Okay, here we are. Reheated after we've been in the vacuum pot. There is a few little surface bubbles. We'll get rid of those. Blue Craw, 35 drops to 1 cup of plastisol. 3.5-inch rocket grub. Here we go. Nice, slow pressure. Doing my best to avoid any air bubbles. Still learning the rocket grub mold. It's new for me, so I definitely get some air bubbles from time to time. So trying to give it nice, slow pressure and making sure to top it off. Oh yeah. Really good color. And this is an amazing one. Once you start to spruce it up, you can really do a lot with the Blue Craw. You can already start to see some of that brown to blue color shift there. Got to make sure to top off this mold. It loves to drink. Oh yeah, you can really see it here. The brown with the blue on the thin parts there. Oh yeah. Okay, here we go. 35 drops of the Blue Craw, plain all by itself. Alright, and there we go. You can already start to see some of the brown and the blue color shift. Definitely much more pronounced on its own straight out of the bottle as opposed to the synthetic, that's for sure. Chocolate brown here, and it almost looks like a minty green, but it's blue. It's a very light blue there. You can definitely see some of the brown to blue color change right out of the bottle. So, alright, let's take one of these. We're going to take the best one here, set it aside, and then we're going to throw the other 7 back in the cup, melt it down, and add that drop of black. Alright. Here we are with The blue Craw, again, base of 35 drops. We remelted all of the grubs back down except for one to compare this time. And again, we're going to drop in 1 drop of the Dead On Plastix black. That's it. Just 1 drop. And then we'll blend that in. And again, it really pulls out that brown. Gives it something to offset to. You can see when I pull the knife out, it is still that beautiful aquamarine blue right there. Looks really, really, really good. Alright, let's get a test mold sample so we can compare it to our original, and then we'll vacuum all the gas out of this here. See what we're working with. Okay, and here you go. On the left here we have the 35 drops of blue Craw that has the 1 drop of black, and on the right we have just the plain original blue Craw straight out of the bottle. And you can see that in the darker spots that black really just helps to accentuate the darks slightly better than it does over here on the right. It gives that brown something to really reflect off of and blend in with, and you can see it still doesn't really affect the aquamarine blue that comes through very much at all. And again, looking at them straight down, straight on, you can see this one is a little more transparent, and on the left with the drop of black, it is just slightly a little bit more opaque. There's a really good angle on it right there. You can see the difference. Very cool. Amazing what just 1 little drop of black does to the color morphs. Really, really sets it off. From this angle here, you can really see how deep it gets right there. That aquamarine blue, the way that light fades in. I don't know, something about that drop of black that really sets it off as opposed to just straight out of the bottle. Alright, we are still hot enough. I think we can go ahead and give this a shot. Let's get all gloved up here. Alright, blue Craw. 35 drops with 1 drop of black. Here we go. Again, I'm trying to go nice and medium paced, slightly on the slow side, definitely holding pressure to get all of those air bubbles out. We shot this at about 315, 320, again trying to help reduce some of the denting that we're getting. Again, just learning the rocket grub mold as we go. Good thing it's an 8 cavity, we can choose the best one, huh? And there you go. You can really see more of the brown pronounced now on the edges. And here you go. Here is the injector sprue. You can see a lot more chocolate brown with the blue on the edges, all just from that drop of black. Really brings out that color morph a lot more. Okay, here we go. 35 drops of the blue Craw with 1 drop of black. Alright, see if we can't get these a little bit organized here. And look at that, huh? Isn't it amazing what that 1 drop of black does? Definitely a lot more pronounced color change. Here, we'll just throw that one right in the middle there. That was straight out of the bottle. Very clear difference, straight out of the bottle, 35 drops, just 1 drop of black. Getting close there so you can see that. Huh? How about that? Definitely a more chocolate brown to blue color shift with that drop of black. Straight out of the bottle, 1 drop of black. Definitely see a difference. For sure. Awesome, awesome stuff. Okay, next up we have Metal Mist. Alright. Here we go, another fresh cup of plastisol right out of the microwave. Let's get you right down in here close. Now that we got this good and stirred, next up is the Metal Mist. This is supposed to be a blue to purple color change. So I don't have a whole lot of experience with the Metal Mist so far, so it'll be really interesting to see how this turns out in comparison to the rest of the color morphs. So here we go, 35 drops. Okay, there we go. That is a full 35 drops. Let's get this mixed in. I could definitely see the purple right away. That's certainly easy to see. Yeah. Look at that. I can sort of see some blue in there, ever so slightly. Oh yeah, I can definitely see it a little bit when you change the knife. Can you kind of see that slight, there it is, that slight turquoise shimmer there? Let's see what this is going to look like. And then we will get this all vacuumed up. Alright, it's definitely translucent purple. Definitely some blue hue, blue tones to it there on the edges. But definitely dominant in the purple. But it is definitely a bluer shade of purple. Again, I think once we drop in the black, it'll really set off the color change. But we'll see. I wonder how this looks like in the mold. Okay, here we are, vacuumed, heated back up to temperature, making sure that we always glove up. And here we go. 35 drops of the Metal Mist, straight out of the bottle, 3.5 inch rocket grub. Here we go. We shot this one right about 330. When we last checked the thermometer, it was 340. So probably a little bit hotter than we might want. A lot of the molds here that have thick cavities, I'm starting to learn they really like to be shot cooler, like at around 320. This is what it looks like. It's purple, definitely with some hues of blue, but I don't know, even in person it's hard to see a color morph on this one. There's like an aquamarine blue tinge in there, so I'm hoping that really comes out when we add that drop of black. Since we've been taking a look at the injector sprues, again, you can kind of see it here. You definitely get the light purple, and there are definitely some darker hues of blue in the darker areas of the purple. Let's take a look at what it looks like in the actual mold itself, and then we'll put that drop of black in there and hopefully really set this off. Okay, here we are, 3.5 inch rocket grub with the Metal Mist. 35 drops straight out of the bottle, and I can already see here, it might be hard to pick up on camera, but there's definitely some blue where you can translucently see through the plastic in the thin areas. So I bet the color shift on this happens when we hold it up to the light. I bet you it'll be blue, kind of a slate blue. Let's check this out. Okay, they're gonna all come off on that side. Okay, awesome. Love it when they all come out on one side. Okay, and there we go. There's definitely some purple there, and again, I can see right here on the tips. You see out here on the edges how it turns blue when the light passes through it just right. You can even see it in the sprue there a little bit. Let's zoom in here for you. You see there? Translucent. There's some blue in there. There's definitely some blue in there. You can see it there. See that? When you hold it up to the light there, that is going to be translucent blue. I can definitely see it in the middle of the sprue there, and holding it up to the light definitely yields a little bit of clear see-through blue. Okay, here it is, purple. But you get it up to the light there, and look at that. It's definitely like a translucent see-through blue. Here's a good look at it there. There's your blue when it gets up to the light. But as you come down, it's purple. Okay, alright. So there's the color morph there with that. Blue to purple. 35 drops right out of the bottle. Now let's take a look what that one drop of black does. Okay, here we are. We've got the rest of the grubs all melted down there. You know what time it is. One drop of black. Let's hope that we can really set off this color morph here. Oh geez, okay. Did you see that? That's what happens when we hurried. It ended up getting 2 drops. So 2 drops of black in this one. My apologies. We got a little bit hasty with it there. Accidents happen. Purple, definitely a more burgundy wine color, and you can definitely see that blue slate as it's coming through. Okay, well, 2 drops of black by accident. Should have been 1. But, alright, let's get this in the vacuum chamber and then let's get it all ready to go so we can inject it and see what this looks like. Alright, here we go. Fresh out of the vacuum chamber and the microwave right around 340. Looking good. Temperature's looking pretty good. I think we are good to go here. We are ready to inject. Let's get rid of those surface bubbles there. Make sure that we glove up. Everything's looking good. Alright, here we go. 35 drops of metal mist with 2 drops of black by accident. Alright, and you can see what that looks like there. Definitely that slate blue on the thin parts and that burgundy purple on the darker parts. Okay, taking a look here, you can see definitely a deeper purple now that we've added the black, but again, on the edges there where the light passes through, you get that blue hue to it. Interesting. Definitely interesting. Okay, here we go. 35 drops of the metal mist and 2 drops of the black by mistake. Sorry about that. Alright, definitely a deeper burgundy purple. Oh yeah, when the light passes through it though, if we can get it just right. Oh, there's some of that blue. You see that blue there? When the light passes through the tails that way, you can see some of the translucency there as the light passes through it. Let's hold this up to the light and see what it really looks like. Okay, here we are. We're definitely burgundy purple up close, and that's the reflective nature of it. But the translucency of it, if we start to hold it up to the light, look at that, there it goes. It goes blue. See that? Look at that. That is pretty cool. It's blue, and then let's bring it back down. You can see it starting to turn purple again. And then once light is no longer passing through it, it's definitely that burgundy purple. Cool. Metal mist. Definitely got that grayish slate blue going on. I see why they named it metal mist. Really cool. Alright, and here we are. Fresh cup of plastisol out of the microwave, ready to go. Next up is the Kiwis. Now this is a color that I've run only 1 time before, and again we're going to go 35 drops total. Alright, there we go. 35 drops of the Kiwi. The Kiwi is a really nice brown to green color shift. It's really good. It's right up there with the blue Craw. Now, I've only used it once before, but I can tell you so far of all of the color morphs I've used, the Kiwis as well as the blue Craw are 2 of my favorites. And you can hopefully see here a nice dark brown in the middle with green popping up here on the mixing knife. Looking fantastic right out of the gate. This even looks better once we add that drop of black. I can't wait for you to see it. So let's go ahead and fill up our color test sample so we can see what we're working with here. Let's get this vacuumed and then injected. And let's take a look at our rocket grubs with 35 drops of the Kiwis. Look at that. It's going to look so much better once all those bubbles are out of there, I'm telling you. You can see right on the tip there a little bit of that brown. Same as we get closer to the thick part. It goes from green to brown. Again, a little tough to see right out of the bottle, but once you add that drop of black, it really sets it off. This one is such a nice color. It's right up there with the blue Craw, one of my favorites. Alright, right out of the vacuum chamber, we're still right around 305, so definitely want to give this a shot here. We're going to try and shoot this real quick at low temperature. Here we go. 35 drops of Kiwis into 1 cup of plastisol. Epic bait molds, 3.5 inch grub. Okay, and there you go. That's what it looks like on the end of the injector. Definitely a nice kiwi lime green. on the thin parts, and on the darker parts you can see that tinge of the brown there. Again, definitely one of those ones that gets set off once you put that one drop of black in there. Alright, a little bit of a larger sprue from the injector because we did inject it pretty cold. But again, you can see, here's a good shot of it. You can see the green in the thin parts and that chocolate minty brown it turns to in the dark parts. Kiwis is definitely a good one. Alright, here we go. 35 drops of the Kiwis straight out of the bottle. What sides it want to come off on? Looks like the far side over there. That's totally fine. Yeah, and there we go. You can definitely see that Kiwis lime green coming through, and just a little bit of that brown. You can barely just see it here where it gets darker on the camera, and I mean just barely. This is definitely going to pop more once we get that drop of black in there. Do you see that there, right on the ridge line? How about if I hold it like that? Can you see it there? Just that hint of chocolate. You can kind of see it there too when we hold it up to the light. When we bundle them up, you can definitely see the chocolate coming through. But again, straight out of the bottle, I just feel like it needs something extra. So we're gonna again keep the one that we can compare, and then we're gonna put the rest of these back, melt them down, and add that drop of black. All right, here we are, fresh out of the microwave. We are up to temperature, and we need to add in our one drop of black. Going to be very careful this time, as last time we got just a little bit hasty. Boom, one. That's it. Let's get you in close. Just that one drop of black. I can already see it brought out that orange a whole lot more. Look how dark brown that is, but look how green the knife is when I pull it out. Huh? Can y'all see that? Awesome stuff. Alright, let's get this vacuumed and see what it looks like inside the mold. Okay, you can see on the left, this is with one drop of black added versus the 35 drops straight out of the bottle. Definitely pulls out more of that chocolate brown. There's a good look at it straight on too. You can see, again, just a little bit more darkness and opacity over here with the one drop of black. It really helps pull out that color more. Okay, here we go. Don't forget to glove up. And here we go. 35 drops of Kiwis and one drop of black. Really pulls out the color change a lot more. I'm excited for all of you to see it. Here we are, and this is what it looks like on the end of the injector. Alright, taking a look at the injector sprue. There you go, much deeper chocolate brown, and that green still shines through. It's almost like that green isn't even really affected by that drop of black we add in there. But it just gives something for that brownish orange, whatever that other color change is, to really set it off. This looks so good in a creature bait, lizard molds. Fantastic color. Alright, here we go. 3.5 inch rocket grub, 35 drops of Kiwis and one drop of black. Are they going to come out on this side? Yes, they are. Oh, see, we still got some air bubbles in there. Oh, this mold is kicking my butt. But anyways, you can certainly see a much better color morph here. That brown is definitely a lot more visible with that drop of black added. This looks really good on its own. You see that brown there? There you go. Look at that brown to green, chocolate brown to green. Again, this looks fantastic in molds such as this. The grubs look good. Any kind of beaver style molds that you have, creature style baits, it looks fantastic in hogs. I've shot it in the hog before. I've seen Chris Jones shoot it in the lizard mold. It looks fantastic. So Kiwis. Yeah, really nice color there. So let's compare. We have the 35 drops with 1 drop of black here on the right, and then on the left here we have 35 drops straight out of the bottle. And you can see from the tails look almost identical. So the green isn't really affected at all, but it definitely thickens up the body to pull out more of that chocolate brown compared to straight out of the bottle. Kiwis, again, like I said, looks really, really good. All right, here we are, another fresh cup of plastisol ready to go, and our last color of the Color Morph series, and one that I am super excited about because I've never shot it before, and that is the Pink Lemonade. So I don't know, I'm assuming this is a yellow to pink color shift. We'll see. I shook it up for a good 2 to 3 minutes, and here we go, 35 drops. There we go, 35 drops of pink lemonade. That cool, refreshing drink. Ooh, it does look like pink lemonade. Almost looks like grapefruit juice. There's definitely a little bit of a pearlescent or like a sheen in there. You see that? Interesting. Definitely yellow on the edges. I'm assuming that's where it's going to be transparent. You see that's kind of yellowish there? Red in the cup, but kind of transparent yellow. I wonder if the thin limbs are going to show up yellow like that. Let's see. Interesting. Okay. Let's get a color sample here, and then we will get this all vacuumed out and see what we're working with. Oh yeah, look at that. Okay. Alright. Oh yeah, that is definitely yellow on the thin part, and that goes down to a pinkish red in the thick part. That's pretty cool. Okay. Pink lemonade. Hey. Yeah, looks like we might have a winner on our hands to wrap up the color resource video, huh? Interesting. Nice way to round out the color morphs. Alright, let's see what this looks like in the mold. Alright. Here we are, vacuumed and fresh out of the microwave. Oh yeah, 350, 355. I think we are ready for injection. And I'm really excited for this here. Pink lemonade, huh? There's definitely some kind of a powder pigment in there. I definitely see some sparkling going on, which definitely lets me know that once we add that drop of black, it's really going to set it off. But I tell you, look at that. Is that not beautiful or what? Here we go. Pink lemonade, 35 drops into 1 cup of plastisol into the Epic Bait Molds Rocket Grub. And look at that. Definitely, oh yeah, yellow to pink. Yellow to kind of like a pinkish peach color. Very cool. Like I said, almost like grapefruit juice in a way. Very cool color. Taking a look at the injector sprue. Definitely get some yellow highlights on the thin parts, and definitely that peachy kind of pinkish yellowish. Yeah, that's cool. Pink lemonade. I like it. Okay, here we go. 3.5 rocket grub with the pink lemonade, and you really get a good look at it right there. You got that pink in the center with that yellowish lemonade look on the outer edge. That is pretty cool. Pretty cool. Okay, let's see what we got here. What side's it going to open up on? That side. Look at that. Right out of the bottle. Definitely pink lemonade. You got your pinkish orange right here in the middle, and then you got that lighter yellowish color on the outer edge there. Look at that. You can get in there and see that sparkle. You can see that yellowish tinge there on the tails, and you got that pinkish orange in the center. Very cool. Yellow to pinkish orange. Look at that. Pink lemonade. Huh? 35 drops. Alright. Let's hold this one aside, get the rest of them back in there, and add that drop of black, and let's see if we can't get some magic to happen. Alright, here we are. We got those grubs melted back down. We are up to temperature, and time to add 1 drop of black into this pink lemonade and see if we can't make a little bit of magic happen. What do you think? Let's see what this does here. Let's be very careful. Just 1 drop. Boom. That's it. That's it. Just 1 drop. Just 1 drop. Oh, look at that. Okay. Alright. Definitely brought out that powder a bit more, but I think we actually might have killed the yellow in this one because it isn't necessarily a morph. It's a pigment in there of some kind, a reflective pigment. I'm not sure. Okay. Well, let's see how this turns out. Here we go. Okay, we are still plenty good to shoot this right out of the vacuum chamber. Definitely getting some motor oil vibes for sure. I want to get a color test sample here so we can see what we're working with. I just am impatient and I don't necessarily want to wait to see what it looks like in the mold. So we're just going to collect a color sample so we can compare it. And I think we are going to shoot this. Alright, here we go. We're all gloved up. 35 drops of pink lemonade with 1 drop of black. Let's see what this looks like. And here's what we're working with. More like a dirty pink lemonade now. Still kind of yellowish peach on the sides and kind of a dark dirty pink. That black definitely darkened it up, just that 1 drop. Let's see if that helps the color change at all. Okay, taking a look at the sprue from the injector, you can definitely see that powder reflective pigment shines, so that doesn't really change. It got a little bit deeper, and the edges are definitely more of like a, almost kind of like a dirty chartreuse. It's got that yellowish green kind of motor oil tinge to it a little bit. Alright, so this is our color test block. You can see here is the original, straight out of the bottle, 35 drops. You definitely get that yellow down here on the thin part and that pinkish oranges up there in the thick part. And you can see here, you definitely still get a little more yellow down here, just similar, but it really darkens up back here. This is actually a really good lighting angle of it right now. So a little bit darker, and this one I'm almost wondering if maybe this color morph might actually look better just out of the bottle itself, not necessarily by adding the black to it. Very interesting, very surprising. Let's see how it looks inside the mold. Okay, 3.5 inch rocket grub, 35 drops of pink lemonade, and 1 drop of black. You can definitely see it got a little bit darker on us there. Let's crack it open, see what we're working with. What side does it want to come out on? You still get a lot of that color change going on. You definitely get a brighter, kind of more pale yellowish here in the thin parts, and definitely get a pinkish orange here inside the center. Let me slowly zoom in there for you so you can take a look. Alright, I was getting worried. I was really getting worried there, but the end result after it cures up looks pretty good. Not too shabby. Okay, just for reference, we're going to throw in the original one, 35 drops, straight out of the bottle. And again, yeah, I definitely think that adding that drop of black certainly helps with the color change. You can definitely see a lot more contrast here with the one with the black and the tail versus no black and the tail. So Two different ways to run it. You can run it straight out of the bottle, or you can tweak it just a little bit by adding that drop of black. Either way, the pink lemonade is definitely a cool color. I dig it. Can you see that reflectiveness in there? It's got some sparkle to it, that's for sure. And you can definitely see that yellow on the transparency of the tail. See there when you kind of move like that? There you go. You can really see that yellowish lemonade. Then you get the straight on sheen of that pigment that's in there. Very cool. Pink lemonade, huh? Alright, well you know what time it is. Let's get some close-up goodness of all of these color morphs, and we'll meet you right back here for a wrap-up. Have it, all 5 or well 4 of the Color Morph series. I actually did a little bit of research after I noticed there was some pigment, some sparkles inside of the pink lemonade. I went back to the Dead On Plastix website. Now, at the time of purchase, the pink lemonade was listed under the Color Morph section, but now going back to the website and taking a second look, it's now listed under the Paragon section, which is their pearlized set of colors. So pink lemonade, it's now found in the Paragon section of the website, but still a really cool color nonetheless. So not sure if it qualifies as a color morph or a Paragon, but we covered it nonetheless. So you have the 4 color morphs here, and then you also have the 1 Paragon effect over here. 5 Dead On Plastix colors: the synthetic, the blue Craw, the metal mist, the Kiwis, and the pink lemonade. So this video was packed with some surprises for me. Some colors behaved a little bit differently than I expected them to, and still the blue Craw and the Kiwi stand out to me as my 2 favorite of that entire lineup. I've used them both in creature baits, and the recipes you can do with those 2 are fantastic. Now some of you may have enjoyed some of the other colors better, and that's the entire benefit of this color resource series. You get to look at all the colors, what they look like across the board with a fixed process, so we can repeat this every time and have some consistency across the board when comparing these colors to one another. So I can't thank Adam enough from SDG Custom Lurecraft for starting this series and allowing me to piggyback on as a sister series covering some of the Dead On colors, and we'll be moving into some more MF colors in the future as well. And a special shout out to Epic Bait Molds for sponsoring both of the series and providing the Rocket Grub mold so we can bring these colors to all of you, the bait makers in the community. Now, if you have some suggestions on how to perhaps change or improve the process, please do not hesitate to let me know. The comment section is down below. Drop a comment and let me know what you think or any changes that we need to make moving into episode 2 for this color demo resource. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to smack that thumbs up button and subscribe. It's right down here, it's free, and if you click that bell, you're gonna get those notifications every single time we upload a video and go live. But I think we're gonna wrap and cap this video right here. So until next time, y'all know who it is. Your friend on this end, Michael, out here around the Delta Sloughs, reminding you to keep on chucking. I'll get back with you.